Our Renters' Rights series continues tonight as we're looking further into evictions and best tips for those who might be dealing with that issue. Western Mass News reporter Kristen Burnell has the story after speaking with one local organization that assists with people facing evictions.
Rose Webster Smith is the program director at Springfield No One Leaves, a nonprofit organization that helps residents affected by housing issues such as evictions.
We actually organize using a sword and shield model. So the sword being the people power, so direct actions, protests. And then the shield, we have 9 volunteer attorneys who volunteer their time.
Webster Smith, also a former member of Springfield No One Leaves, tells Western Mass News that they have over 500 active members and are witnessing an uptick in people in need of assistance. Specifically, the program is seeing more people being served no-fault evictions when the landlord can end a tenancy at any time.
In Massachusetts, you don't have to have done anything wrong in order for a landlord to evict you. We are a no-cause state.
We asked Webster Smith what type of help they provide for those facing evictions. She says they first start with a Know Your Rights training quiz, where they teach tenants their rights as a renter and what action they can take against landlords if they are having problems with them. Their services continue with.
We do an intake with them because we want to see who their landlord is, if we have other members who have the same landlord, so we can collectivize their fight. And then we figure out where they're at. Are they already in court? Are they about to be in court? Or did they just get the scary letter that tells you you have a certain amount of days to leave?
The main goal of Springfield No One Leaves is to help those with housing issues, but also to provide constant support from everyone a part of the group.
Sometimes the attorneys will take their case and represent them. We have no control over whose cases they take, but then they have a whole community around them of people that will stand up and fight with them.
One local attorney is also sharing his insight into the evictions process.
Once you get served with a notice to quit, which is the first step, you don't automatically have to leave. You don't have to leave until a judge says to you, you have to be out, in which case you'll get all sorts of notice and things like that.
Malou tells us that a good tenant can successfully negotiate, and communication is key right off the bat. He says the reasoning of the eviction is also important when putting a defense together.
Let's talk about this. What are the reasons for the notice to quit? Is it because you're late in your rent, and that brings up a whole other thing, or is it because you've done something? Or is it simply because the landlord owns the property and they want the property back? If it's something that you're being wrongly evicted for, well, you start to gather your witnesses, you gather your evidence, and you put together all the information that you're going to need when you go to court.
And as for resources people can use locally,
reach out to your local community organizations, your regionals like Wayfinders. Come to us. You can call Community Legal Aid. If they're unable to take your case, you can come to us and you can meet with one of our volunteer attorneys to get assistance to assert your rights.
For Western Mass News, I'm Kristen Burnell.